Hello everyone, welcome to my live stream. My name is Denise Hutchins and I'm broadcasting to you from Studio Mikarts. Our charity of the month is the Protego Foundation, and you can help me, help them, help the animals in a few ways. First, just watch my streams this month and bring your friends because I'll be making a donation at the end of the month based on my unique viewers count. You can also donate on Twitch to our fundraiser. We have 10 of $20 raised because this is last year's successful fundraiser combined with an upped goal for this year. So please donate there if you can. You can also find a link either if you're watching on Twitch in my About section or on YouTube. The recording should have in the description a link there too. The Protego Foundation, so you can donate more directly that way. It is Friday, which means it's Chibi Friday, and if you can't tell, I've got my Chibi food buttons ready to press into buttons to sell tomorrow at the vegan market. It's going to be the winter vegan market. I'm super excited. And actually, I think it's got to be a coincidence because I don't run this market. I am just apply to be a vendor, and I've been honored to be chosen. But this one is happening right next door to the arts shop and school that I sell my postcards in. So it's super exciting because I'm going to just be right next door to where my art is already being sold. Oh, Exie, thank you! Holy crap! 25-month streak! Oh! A quarter to 100. Amazing. Hello! Thank you so much for joining me today. Oh, I hope you had a great week so far. How are you? Oh, wow. Thank you so much for subscribing again. 25 months. That is so incredible. It also feels extra special right now because Christmas is my favorite holiday, which is on December 25th. And I've been doing a running challenge where I run at least 25 minutes a day until December 25th. So there's lots of 25 happening, so it feels very lucky. Oh, excellent. I'm always happy to hear it. I'm so glad to hear you're doing all right. You're welcome. Okay, so, I have to tap my microphone to open this case. This is where I'm going to be keeping all the buttons. These are the ones that I pressed already, but then I decided it would be better. And look at them, it is better. You can see. I redid the colors and added the name of the food so that it's more clear what it is. It looks way better. So actually, this is kind of a secret. Don't tell anyone, but I think I'm gonna put these in people's Christmas stockings this year. They'll get a little tofu button in there. Just secret though. Oh, how am I? I'm good, thank you. Yes, all is well. Feeling really good. I'm excited for the market. I've been working really hard. I mean, I keep sharing about it in our Discord because I keep having to skip my streams because there's so much work. This is my second time doing this market, so I thought, it'll be okay. I just need a couple days to prepare because I prepared so much last time. I'm just over here getting my paper cutter out. But I was wrong about that. So I think in the future for each vegan market or any other pop-up market that I decide to do, I'm just going to take the week off from streaming because I really need that extra time. So I realized that it's not just about preparing new items. I need to restock items that I've already sold. I have to do stuff like add new listings into Square, which is where I take my payments during these markets. And I did that this morning. I completely forgot that was a thing I had to do. And it's like too much to think about. There's so much to do. So I think on market weeks, I'll just skip streaming because streaming takes up 3 hours a day, 2 hours of being live, and then another hour of half hour beforehand and a half hour afterward to prepare for this stream and to follow up and post my video and all that stuff. So that 3 hours, that's 9 hours a week. And I just learned that I have to have that. So, but luckily, these two tasks converged today. It's Chibi Friday because I've been working on these for Chibi Friday for, I don't know, a couple months now. Look how good this looks. I'm so excited for these. This looks so cute. I'm so happy I redesigned them again. It's worth it. It's all worth it to go through the multiple iterations. So anyway, today's work is both market prep and Chibi Friday because it's just continuation of what I've been doing on Chibi Friday all this time. So I'm cutting these out in order to be able to feed them into this, which is the button press. So that'll be the next step. But first I'm going to cut out all of these buttons, button designs. Oh, thank you, Exie. Yay! I'm glad you think they look adorable. I hope other people think they're adorable too. It's been so hard to make a proper career out of my art. So these markets are an excellent opportunity for me to reach new people. I was saying at the beginning of the year that I want to grow. Let me hold it up close. Here's the peanut butter. I want to grow, but on the internet there are billions of people and it's hard to stand out. It's hard to find people who like your unique art. And I don't want to sacrifice my integrity just to get likes, you know? I feel like that's what you have to do on the internet to stand out, ironically, is to do the same stuff that everyone else is doing. And, oh, my printer is going for some reason. Hey, printer, what are you doing? My printer is thinking of printing something. Paper out. No, dude. Paper is out. Maybe, I don't know, maybe my husband was trying to print and he accidentally chose my art printer, but I just canceled it. I'm not trying to print anything. Why is it trying to print? Crazy. Well, if you're hearing all that mechanical noise, that's my printer deciding that it's a good idea to print right now. So, here is the broccoli. Oh, broccoli! So yeah, I'm really excited for these markets because I can talk to people individually. That's why live streaming is so important to me, because I personally prefer to talk to people. Like, I like people. I like actually talking to people. So live streaming lets me do that, and going to these in-person markets let me do that. So I'm super excited. And this is only the second one. There's a whole nother set of seasons coming up. Here's baby bok choy. Ah, I'm so happy. I'm so excited for these. I'm so excited to see them as buttons. They always look extra good as buttons because they have the mylar cover on them. It makes them so shiny. This is actually my first time trying printing on matte paper, but it was thinner than the glossy photo paper that I have used for a long time. And I find that they press into buttons easier, and they're easier to punch out too if you can use a thinner paper. Oh, really? Nice. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. The sound of the cutting is satisfying. Shoop. Shoop. I could totally see that. Now that you say that, it is quite a pleasant sound. There's the chia seeds. Earlier I was mentioning my integrity as an artist. And I don't necessarily mean integrity as in doing something bad even though I'm a good person kind of thing. I mean sticking to what I want to bring into the world as an artist, which is happy things, things with love in them, things that you savor. I'm personally not a fan of the really fast media that everybody else seems to love. I hate it. Like, today I was figuring out, how can I turn off the autoplay of the thumbnails on YouTube? Because it drives me crazy. I can't focus. It makes my mind blank out. Like, I can't explain it. It's not just like a personal preference thing. It's like I literally can't think anymore. Because say, like, I'm searching for a certain type of video, so I'm scrolling through, I'm like, looking for, see if there's the kind of video that I'm looking for, but it's like every time I stop so that I can examine what's on my screen now, the top one starts playing, and I can't focus on anything else to accomplish the task I wanted to do, which is look for a video. No, it just starts auto-playing. And that's just, so that's, on a personal level, that's not what I enjoy, and on a professional level, that's not what I want to produce. So what I'm getting at is redesigning these buttons, I feel, was returning to my integrity as well, because what I was trying to make with the buttons, and the reason why I wasn't quite satisfied with the backgrounds on a bunch of them, is because I was trying to make it really super bright poppy color with lots of different colors all in the same button. But I realized that what I actually like and what I like to produce is more like this, where it's all harmonious colors and the background is an echo of the main color. And before I was like, well, let's add these pops of green and pink and blue, and it's like there's hardly any of that, if at all, in these images. And so now I'm way more satisfied with these. This is the last sheet. A pineapple. So I'm so glad that I don't feel like those pink tofu buttons that I made, and I made them all the way into buttons. I didn't just print them and decide. I didn't just make one. I made them all, and then I had a couple weeks to sit on it and think about it. And it wasn't sitting right. I was like, these aren't exactly, they don't feel 100% yet. And I figured it out. So I'm super pleased, because now that we're going to market, I feel 100% confident in these ones. Okay, they're all chopped out. So I don't think this sound will be satisfying. I did watch my previous stream, and it did not seem like it was too bad as far as how loud this punch is. So hopefully it will be the same today, because I am using, like I said, a thinner paper than last time. And so it shouldn't be too loud. But you never know. Maybe something about this thinner paper would actually come across louder. I'm just saying, prepare yourself in case it is crazy loud or something. This is that part I said last time I hated doing an artist alley, because everybody would look over at me because it was so loud. But it has to be done, because it doesn't actually cut. That's why it's so loud. What I was just doing was paper cutter, but this is a punch. So it just pushes the two metal circles together until it pushes through the paper. So I'm lining it up all nice so I don't see any white, or at least as close as possible. It doesn't have to be perfect, but closer you can get it, the better. Okay. One strip done. We've got these millions of strips to do, but we've got 2 hours, so we can do this. Oh, good. Oh, Lexi. My ears! Oh, it's not actually doing it. Okay, good. Good. Last time I was so worried about it, I muted my mic I did a couple, but I was like, it's so loud, I'm afraid, and I muted my mic, so. So it was getting caught. Okay. Next strip. I wonder how many strips I have of these. So I have 9 food designs. And I cut each sheet. So that's 9 sheets into 3. It's 9 times 3, 27. I think it's 27. So we got 27 strips. Of course, it's 12 times 9, which I can't do in my head. Okay, Google, what's 12 times 9?
12 times 9 is 108.
Oh, that's such a nice number. 108 of these, and we've gotten through some of them. 108 is a special number to me because of Suikoden. My favorite game of all time. Suikoden, you have to, well, you don't have to, but you get the best ending if you collect all 108 stars of destiny. So 108 is a special number for me. So that's nice to know. There's 108 of these. That bodes well. Oh, that reminds me. We're having so much nice number luck today. Exy, 25 months. I've been running 25 plus minutes a day for 25 days until December 25th. And then we got this 108 buttons from my favorite game of all time. The buttons aren't from the game, but 108 is. And then I just remembered, today is Friday the 13th. Other people think it's unlucky, but I'm a contrarian when it comes to luck superstitions like that. Any bad luck superstition. Good luck superstitions I let be. They can continue to be good luck. Basically, I turn all the bad luck ones into good luck. So I'm always excited for Friday the 13th. And today is the 113th Chibi Friday. When I saw that when I was updating my stream title, I was like, what? That's crazy. So much number luck today. All right, we got all the pineapples done. Onto the pears. Whee. I think this is going to be so nice. And I'm so excited, too, because these are all of the Chibi Food badges that I made to be subscriber badges on Twitch here. My printer is thinking of printing again. Or something. My printer woke up and did something. I don't know. I forgot what I was talking about because of the dang printer suddenly coming to life. Oh yeah, I'm excited because right now we have 9. But my next subscriber badge slot opened at the beginning of November. So we can make a new one. Not for a while though, because we have so many chibis. So many chibi caricatures to do. We already have a list of 4, including Xy's. And then the winter vegan market tomorrow, I am going to be offering chibi caricature commissions for sale. So I might grow that list. And of course, my schedule is always super packed as usual. So when I make those chibis, it's Chibi Friday. So my next subscriber badge might have to wait for a long time. We'll see. I love all these designs. They look so good next to each other. I'm really excited to have them all displayed. There's going to be so many, I definitely can't put them all in the display case I have. I don't know exactly how big it is, but maybe it's 1 by 2 feet or that's something like that. Maybe a little bit more than 1. 1.5 by 2 feet or something. But there's no way 108 buttons are going to fit in there, especially because I already have some other button designs, including Chibi, Aries, Capricorn, and Gemini. And a few sort of fan buttons like V for Vendetta and Captain America and Iron Man. And there's a few left like that. I'm not going to make any more of that type. Those are left over from my fan convention artist alley days, where if you really want to make a lot of money and you're not famous, you got to make fan art. So I'm getting away from selling fan art. There's just so many reasons not to do it. But I still have them, so I don't want to just throw them away. That's a waste. And I also am bringing back my dishwasher magnets. Clean and dirty dishwasher magnets. I originally designed them for myself, but I realized, well, I put all this graphic design work into it. I think they look really good. They're very thoughtful. They're actually in 3 different languages. They're in German, Japanese, and English. And they're super useful. So I sold those for a while. But like I said, it was at fan convention, so people were not interested in home, I don't know what you would call that. Utility? Not utility, but anyway, people weren't interested. But this is just a general market, so I think people might actually be interested. It was encouraged by my fine artist sister. I call her my fine artist sister. She's in the chat sometimes, Satuita. Because actually, I realized that me and my 3 siblings have all gotten creative educations and have creative careers. So my youngest sister is graduating actually the same day, the same time as the vegan market. I'm like, no, why? I had already signed up for the market, so I can't go. But she said it was okay. She said support the growing new community. So I was like, thank you, little sister. But anyway, she's getting a degree, a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Creative Writing. And so my fine arts sister, I believe she got the illustration degree too. Though she doesn't actually like illustration, she likes fine art. And I got the illustration degree. We all graduated from Boise State University. And then my brother, he got a computer engineering degree, and he works as a software developer, I think. I'm pretty sure it's software and not hardware developing. So we are all very creative people. So between my 2 sisters, it's kind of hard to... So one is my writer sister and one is my fine art sister, and I'm the illustration sister. And then my brother is the programmer. Which is great, because I've always thought that if I ever want to make an app for something or whatever, I'll just get my brother to help me. He can design the app. I'll do the creative part, any graphic design, and he could design the app for me. Just the other day, I was talking to him about the 5K events that after my conversation with him, I decided to start hosting my own 5K events, run or walk, for friends and family. Because I have not really been enjoying those 5K events as much as I used to for various reasons, and I realized that I could host the event the way I like, and I would save money from not registering for these big events by just hosting it myself. And he had the great idea, like, what if we 3D print finisher medals? We haven't done that yet. What I actually ended up doing was making photos. So we, at our last one, which was the first one that I ever hosted, this really nice person spotted us taking a selfie. I really wanted a selfie with the autumn leaves. It was looking awesome. The sun was shining through them and they were just blazing gold. And I said, everyone stop! Selfie time! So I was trying to take the selfie with the leaves behind us, and this person comes along and says, hey, you want me to take you guys' picture together? And we were like, yeah. And here's a little funny side story about it. She's taken our picture and she tries to take a couple different ones. A lot of people do that, and I appreciate that, so that surely one will turn out, you know? And so another person comes along, sees her taking our photo, and says to her, you want to get your picture with them? I can take your picture. The other person thought she was part of our group. And so it was really funny. And it was over too fast. But I was like, oh, if she wanted her picture with us, I would have totally taken it. Like, we could have taken a picture together. That would be great. What a great moment. But anyway, the pictures she took, going back to my main story, the pictures she took were beautiful with the sunlight and all the leaves. And we're in this area, it's called the Boise Greenbelt, and it was very, I wouldn't say forested, but there's lots of trees. It's right next to the river. So it just looks super beautiful. So what I did, we didn't do 3D printed finisher metals. I took that photo and cropped it nice and did a little bit of editing on it. And then I added text that had the name of the event, the date, and all of the people's names in our group. And I did two versions. One was for posting online, and it just had that information. And then, this is to be sort of like a finisher medal, or race bib. For the ones I printed, I added a little section at the bottom for people to write on and say what they're grateful for, because it was a gratitude run. The theme was gratitude. So for my gratitude, I wrote Boise Greenbelt is what I was grateful for, the place where we did the event. So that's what I did. But I still think, I never would have thought of it on my own, I don't think, but talking to my brother, I guess I'm just verbally illustrating how he is creative too, even if it's not a sort of arts type of creative. The idea of the 3D printed finisher metal still sounds awesome to me, and I never would have thought of that on my own. So I feel like if he figures out how to do 3D printing modeling, I'd be happy to design the metals. But I would only do the design on the 2D because I don't have time for yet another thing. I'm always doing so many things. And I always feel like I've got to take things out. I've got to do less stuff. I've got to drop something. But then I drop something and then I'm like, ooh, I have room for this now. So I always end up having a full schedule no matter what I do. So yeah. Editing photos as a reward for completing the 5K event is something that's right in line with my existing skill set. So that's not an extra thing to do. But learning how to 3D model for 3D printing is that's completely different. I have no idea how to do this. I'm not saying I couldn't. I just need to prioritize. I think I'm doing pretty good telling all these long stories. I think we're halfway or more through the stack of buttons to punch. This baby bok choy is still my favorite. It's one of my top faves of the food subscriber badges, and now as a button, it's also one of my top faves. I love it. It's so cute with this green. Looks so good. Oh, don't fall now. This pile is threatening. I realize you can't see the nice pile. Here's the nice pile of printed button designs. I'll put it here so that it's actually on stream. Today I decided not to bother changing my secondary and tertiary camera, even though I'm doing physical media work, because this is not so creative. It's creative in that I'm literally creating buttons, but it's not creative as in creative thinking. So I think my puppies are more interesting in those cameras right now. I think Exie agrees with the little puppy icon. Oh. I know it's my own art, but I still get so entertained when I see those emotes that I designed. Thank you for using those. It pleases me so much. I'm so excited. There's so much to do. So I'm thinking about the list of emotes that I still want to make too. Chibi Friday is packed for a while. So there's a Chibi commissions / gifts, and then another subscriber food badge, and then some more cute ranger emotes. It's crazy how just a couple years ago I was sort of like, what can I do on Chibi Friday? I wasn't sure what to work on. Should I make some fan art? Should I just pick a random celebrity or something to make a caricature of? Or for a couple times I did that way of making a sort of storybook style illustration using an animal and 3, I think I ended up doing 2 randomly chosen words. But I only did 2 of those, and then I started getting all these other ideas, and these are things that people could actually use right away. So I think these are better. That other idea with the 2 words and the animal, I like it. I like that idea. But a big thing that was motivating me to try it was to get storybook style illustration into my portfolio, with the idea that someone might hire me to illustrate their book. But I've realized this year especially, I think I've been thinking it for a while, but this year I finally decided, and I hope I'm not cursing myself here, but I don't really want to be hired by someone else. I want to make my stories. I want to make my stories and my books. So actually I'm not interested in being hired as an illustrator, unless it's a really good project, you know. Especially one that's in line with my values and that kind of thing. Like, I'm not interested in just illustrating whatever for money, you know. The ideas are really important to me. So, that animal in 2 words kind of Chibi Friday just doesn't seem as important, because the idea of making something that my Twitch subscribers can use, or that can be sold at a market like these buttons, or given to people as gifts, or even I did that Chibi earlier this year. I had donated my services to the Palomacy auction, and that sold for $75, so I raised $75 for Palomacy, which is the pigeon and dove charity. And that kind of thing is really important to me too. That makes my art really feel valuable, to be able to help animals with it. So yep, I guess what I'm getting at is I don't know if I will ever return to the animal and 2 words style Chibi Friday, just because I have such a big list of stuff growing to make. Having the broccoli and peanut butter next to each other here feels weird, but then I think, oh yeah, it could be some sort of yummy peanut butter noodle dish with broccoli in it. And that actually sounds great, like peanut butter sauce, peanut sauce. Last of the broccolis. I think after peanut butter is tofu, so we're on the last couple designs. I haven't heard back yet from the director of that art shop that's going to be right next to the winter vegan market that I'm attending tomorrow, and is where I already sell my postcards. But I messaged, hopefully I'll hear back. I haven't checked my email yet today, so hopefully I'll hear back today. I wanted to see about selling these buttons in the shop. I feel like they'd be a nice addition. I don't think anybody has anything like this in the shop. There's plenty of art, like art originals and greeting cards, postcards like me. Other people are making them too, I think. Definitely tons of greeting cards. And prints, plenty of prints as well. There's also lots of ceramics, because a big thing they do there is ceramics as their classes. And knitted things. It's like little knitted plushies or scarves or all kinds of stuff like that. But I haven't really noticed buttons like these, pinback buttons. So I like the idea of offering something that is unique. Of course, my art style is unique, but sometimes that's not enough. When it's a shop and someone is just shopping around for a gift for someone or something like that. Plus, these buttons are like little mobile art pieces. And they're quite sturdy too. So you can just put them on your jacket, or you can put them on your backpack and go wherever. I've always liked the idea of being able to put my art on sort of utilitarian objects. Because prints are nice, and I do myself have a small collection of other people's art as prints. But they're kind of stationary. They're either in your portfolio, like, oh, there's chickpea too. So we're not quite done yet. Chickpea, and then I think it's tofu. But they're in your portfolio like I have, or maybe you have them hanging up in your house, but they don't like go with you on your jacket everywhere. Sometimes hard to line it up. Want as little of the white to show as possible. Okay, here we go. Chickpea time. Chickpea time. I thought I might have a little extra time at the end of this stream, but it's already been almost 45 minutes. So we'll see if we do have extra time. I thought I'd just spend it updating a few more of my business cards. Last time I updated some, I didn't do it on stream, but I updated them because although the websites that are on there are technically accurate, they're really out of date. So for instance, my About Me page, I do keep it up to date, but it's definitely not the place. I don't send people there anymore. And then it also has my Etsy shop, which I closed ages ago because Etsy's policies made it less and less. Basically, I was spending more money because I'm such a small shop. I was spending more money than I was making to just maintain the shop, and their policies were making it harder and harder, making it worse and worse. So I just completely closed the shop. And that's on there. And I think it also has, it is an email address that I use regularly, but I created another email address that is in line with all of my internet handles and everything. It is studiomekarts@gmail.com. So I want that one on there because then literally everything is Studio Mekarts. It's at Studio Mekarts, studiomekarts.com, Studio Mekarts at Gmail. So everything is the same. Really easy to remember. So what I did was create stickers that are the exact size of the back of my existing business cards and just put those over the back. Because the front, I made a cute illustration. I picked one of my favorite illustrations, even still today. It's ages old now, but it's still one of my favorites, my little Chibi Aries. So the business cards are still very pretty. They're little mini art pieces, little mini prints. So it seems a huge shame to toss them in the recycling or something, or just let them sit there collecting dust, when all I need to do is update the back. So if I do have extra time today, that's what I'll work on, updating a few more of those. This is a little time consuming to do, but I don't like creating waste, so it's just a philosophical thing too. It saves me money. I'm spending time, but it saves me money, but then it also just feels better to me emotionally to not throw something away when I could just change it. Ah, it was good, and then it moved a little bit. Okay, here we go. The last 3 strips. The last 3. Tofu. Chibi tofu. Looks even better. Looks so good now. I'm so happy. This is why I actually prefer to work on things a little bit at a time instead of a big... I used to do, a long time ago, big bursts, and I would just finish a piece in a single day. I work like just 16 hours straight into the night, finish it, and I'm not just talking about for school. For school, sometimes you just have to do that, because that's what they ask of you. But even for my personal pieces, I would do that. And I find it's actually better to have that thinking time in between, because you could come up with ideas that you wouldn't otherwise because you don't have the time for your brain to digest. So like if I had just been determined, I wouldn't have had time to ponder the other design and realize, oh, there's some things I could change and I would like it even better. And now I'm totally stoked about these. I'm really, really excited to put them for sale. Oh, it's actually 4 strips. Now it's 3 strips. Now it's 3 strips left. So I can't wait to see what they look like with the Mylar covers. I only have 1 magnet back left. So I don't know if I'll make any of these into magnets. I think I might just have them all be pin backs. Because it's hard to choose which one do you make a magnet, you know? Unless I want to keep one of that baby bok choy for myself. Then maybe I'll make that one magnet and I'll put it on my fridge. Oh, it was so great to put it on the fridge as a magnet. Oh. Well, I hope I make enough money at the market tomorrow to buy more magnet backs. Because I was actually so low on them that I could only make 4 sets of those dishwasher magnets, because there's 1 dirty dishes magnet and there's 1 clean dishes magnet. So there's actually only 4 sets available. So I really need more. magnet backs. So yeah, I just realized that the food buttons are ideal as magnets because you put them on your fridge. Super close, super close. There we go. Oh, good night, Exie. Thank you so much for joining me today and also resubscribing. I'm so happy. Thank you, thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Sweet dreams. I hope you have a great weekend. Oh, that was a little too far. I get a lot of practice, thanks to Twitch, at not keeping people too long. Oh, Exie with the little exiting ranger. I'm waving at it. I'm not even on stream. I was just waving at it on my screen over here. Anyway, I get a lot of good practice at not keeping people long when it's time to say goodbye. For some reason, I think it's because we are social creatures. We humans don't like to say goodbye, so we're like, we both want to go, you know? You're having a conversation with someone, you both want to go, it's getting tired, you're getting hungry, or you just have to go, like maybe your dogs are at home and they need to go out potty, but you keep talking and you keep finding something and you're like at the door and you're talking at the door and then an hour passes, you know? So I'm getting a lot better at letting people go. Okay. We did it. We did it. How long did it take? 47-ish minutes. I mean, I did have my little intro, so that's maybe like 45 minutes to cut all of these 9 sheets into 4s and then punch all 108 out. So this can just go in my recycle bin. That's another good thing about using matte paper. I'm using Premium Presentation Paper Matte by Epson. That's another thing that's nice about it. It can just go in the regular recycle. Photo paper cannot go in the regular recycle because of the coating. Okay. So, it's time for this nice button press. Trying to line up my camera so it's probably just going to wobble around the whole time anyway though, but try to line it up a bit. Okay, so I've got my bag of Mylar covers. I mean, hopefully it's enough. Ooh, that'd be crazy if it's not enough. This pile is bigger, but it's also thicker than these Mylar covers. They're quite thin. So we've got those. So I'll put it here. Also have pin backs. Let's see. I lined this up all nice, but I want to show you what I'm working on since I don't have my camera pointed at my supplies. So these are the pin backs. 2 1/4 inch. And then in this bag are the fronts of the buttons, the metal fronts. And these work for both the magnet and the pin. Because it's literally just what the back is, it's different. So I'm going to have these on my left. And then these covers here. Press. And then I've got my stack, a fat stack of food button designs. So I'm going to set that over here next to Mylar covers. And then we will start amassing buttons here. Actually, it might be a good idea because this table is actually at an angle it's a drafting table. So I am going to put away this punch and instead put this scrapbooking box there. Punch put away. And this way I can just put the buttons in here and not worry about them sliding off this table, which, like I said, is at an angle. The only problem with this is I have to move my mouse. Normally my mouse is at the corner here, but it's not going to work, so I'm going to put the mouse over here for now. There. Mouse is on the left. Button bin on the right. There. Or maybe I can just put it like this. There. So you can sort of see. You'll see them going into the bin. Hooray! I'm trying to arrange it so my workspace is actually a little more interesting. So you can see the bits and pieces as they come together. As much as you can, since I have the puppy cams on instead of bonus angles of my work. Okay, so first, let's see which side is this. Okay, so first you put the back in. I'm going to line it up like this with the bottom, and you swing that around. And on the other side, you put in a front. And you got to be careful because they like to sort of nest inside of each other like this. You got to make sure that you just get one, because if you get two, it won't work. It will be a messed up button that just has to go in the trash, which is super sad. So look really closely and make sure it's only one. Put that in, sharp side down. Then you put your design. That's another thing. Make sure that that's only 1, 2, T-O-O, not T-W-O. And then you put the cover on top. Mylar cover. And I like to have a look at it because sometimes these get a little electrically charged and there'll be like a little pet hair or some little fuzzy stuck to it. Okay, so all 3 of those are in there. Swing it around and then push the top, and then the top gets sucked into this upper part. That way, swing it around and now the back is underneath and it pushes them together. So sorry, it's going to just be swinging around. The camera is going to be swinging around because it's on this really floppy, loose neck, but here is the new design. I think it looks really good. Here it is compared to the original design I did. I mean, I don't think the original design is bad, but I think it's better having the pink be unique at a pop of color on the cheeks instead of be competing with the background. I think this one looks better. And then, of course, the addition of the words around it makes it more clear what it is. All right. Now we just got 107 more. I'm not going to count them. I will not count them. And it is getting close to break time, so I'm going to take a break in a couple minutes, I think. I hope I can actually get these all done on stream. Actually, it takes a little bit of force. I don't like to make it push quickly because I feel like that risks damaging the edges of the button where the 2 halves come together. So I used to have a 1 1/4 inch button press as well, and it was so bad for that. You had to be so careful when you pressed the button, otherwise you could cut through the Mylar and then the button would just slowly over time sort of unravel. This one I don't have that problem with at all, but I always worry if I try to force it to press faster that I would risk that. So as you can see here, nice and smooth, tucked in so neatly. Super professional. Wait, I still have a few more fronts here. Oh, wait, what am I doing? I don't want that. Yeah, I need to take a break. I'm forgetting what I'm doing. It's a 4-step process to load this. Okay. Needed this plastic. Boom. Oh, well, let's take a break. It's literally break time. My watch is 14:30. So I am going to turn on my be right back sign. And I encourage everyone else to also take this opportunity to give your eyes and your body a break. Go get some water and walk around. I will be back in about 5 minutes. Hello everyone, welcome back! I hope you had a great break. I did some nice stretching and I went upstairs and I forgot I made myself some tea. I mean, this is my second steeping of the bag, so it doesn't look like much. It's an herbal tea. It's bitter melon. My first cup of it was like a golden color. This one you can still taste it, but it didn't impart any color to the water, so it looks like it's just water with a tea bag in it. Okay, back to work. Still over 100 buttons left. If you can tell compared to other streams, but I have been standing up for this whole stream. For my illustration streams, and I suppose graphic design. I sit down, but this is way easier to do standing up. But it does get to your back after a while. It's a slightly different way. So it's still good to take a break even if you're standing. Plus, standing for too long can mess up your feet. I found that out one year. I was standing for like 5 or 6 hours straight cooking a Thanksgiving feast. And then I had a terrible, what is it called? That pain that you get at the bottom of your feet. Anyway, I went to the podiatrist or whatever it was, specialist, and he was like, actually standing is the worst thing you can do for your feet. And I was like, oh man, because what I said was I wasn't even doing anything, because I had been to him before for pain due to running, and ultimately what I learned was I was just pushing myself too hard. It wasn't the running, it was me being too excited about something, as I always do, and just pushing way too hard, way too soon. But at that time, I was like, I wasn't even doing anything, I was just standing there. And that's when he said, actually, standing is the worst thing you could do. Oh, man. So, standing or sitting, the point is that your body is not designed to do the same thing for such an extremely long period of time without changing. It's part of the reason why my schedule, my weekday work schedule, is broken up into smaller chunks. It's another reason why. Not just for the creative aspect of giving myself the time in between for ideas to percolate, but also because it's better for my body to move one thing to another more often. Ooh, and I am so excited about my main writing project. I don't talk about it too often on my streams because my streams are visual arts focused, but eventually I'll be talking about it a lot because I intend to illustrate this fantasy novel that I'm working on. And this week I realized I could change my schedule to allow myself basically an extra hour of writing time. And so with that, and I haven't even been using the full hour. Oh, this pin is undone. But it's been enough that I've been blowing through a chapter a day, editing my manuscript, my first draft manuscript. And it had been taking me weeks with the smaller amount of writing time that I had had to get through a chapter. So now I only have the rest of chapter 12, which is the final chapter, plus I wrote an epilogue to tie things up, a few loose strings to make things more satisfying in regards to all the characters. And so that's not chapter length. I think it was about, so my chapters, I aimed for 3,000 to 4,000 words per chapter. And I think if I remember correctly, the epilogue ended up being only like 1,000 to 1,500 words, so half or less of a normal chapter. So it should not take me very long to get finished with the editing and do my first rewrite. Oh, I'm so excited. I have such great ideas for it. A lot of the books I've read about writing, actually pretty much every single one, talks about how you've got to just get into, if you want to be a professional writer or career writer or whatever you want to call it, you've got to get into the habit of writing, not working on a project. So what I mean by that is, even if you finish with a project, you just immediately start the next project. And it's kind of the same thing with my illustration too. I've gotten that advice for illustration as well, though that's usually more about what do you do when you can't find work yet? Well, you keep making work until someone notices you, was the advice. So it's kind of the same thing with writing, and I feel like I am going to have no trouble whatsoever once this book is finished, which who knows how long it will take, because I started working on this, I think in 2019, so it's been quite a long time. But even once it's over, I'm just going to immediately start. Everybody says I think it's a great idea. Just immediately start on the next thing. Because the process itself is so satisfying. And some philosophical stances that I quite agree with is you should be doing work that if you died today, you would be satisfied. So I was always troubled by how long things take. And you never know what might happen. You might not be able to finish it. How would you feel? Or would you feel regret if you had wanted to do X thing, but you just never got started because you thought you weren't skilled enough, or you just didn't have time, or whatever, and then you get to a point where it's literally too late, and then you're filled with regret and you can't do anything about it. I think that's so sad, and it doesn't have to be. Because if what you love is the process and not a specific result, then it doesn't matter when your time comes, because you'll have spent all of that time until that point doing what you love, regardless of any outcome. So I am quite loving having extra time to work on my writing projects. I say project, right now it's just projects, but it's just one project. I started appreciating that kind of philosophy when I began worrying about, how am I going to get my book published? How am I going to get it out to people? How's anyone going to see it? How am I going to make sure that my work isn't a waste because nobody reads my book? But I stopped worrying about that when I came across these ways of thinking. Because all that stuff is in other people's hands. If somebody publishes my book, that's their decision. It's my decision to apply or submit the book, but it's their decision to publish it. I can't control it. I can try to influence it or do something like that, and whether somebody reads it, whether somebody appreciates it, that's completely out of my control. So worrying about it is just this unnecessary burden that you can't do anything about other than unload that burden. Let it sit somewhere else. You don't have to worry about it. So all that stuff is the reason why I'm so happy about my writing project. It's coming along so nicely. It's just so fun. You come back the next day and you have all these new ideas, or you have an idea while you're there, or sometimes back when I was getting regular massage therapy, I would just have ideas about my story while I was getting a massage. And the same thing happens now. I don't get massage therapy anymore, but I meditate every day. I try to do at least 10 minutes, because if I do any shorter, it feels unsatisfying. I really like at least 10 minutes to meditate. And just ideas will come unbidden. So you're just sitting there. I do mindfulness meditation. Just sitting there doing things like listening to what sounds are around you, or checking in with your body to see what each part feels like right now. And while you're doing that, thoughts still flow. And sometimes it's thoughts about your story, or to be like shower thoughts about your story, all kinds of stuff. It's so fun. I think it's already looking magical in this bin over here. It looks so magical, and there's only two in there right now. I'm so excited for the market tomorrow. I hope that, I can't believe I'm saying this. Anyone who watches my stream regularly might be shocked too, but I hope it doesn't rain too much. It's so ironic. Rain is my absolute favorite weather. I even like it more than snow. Snow is super magical, but rain is still my favorite. And it says it's going to rain tomorrow of all the days. We've been having fairly dry days until today. It seemed to have rained or snowed overnight. Everything is still soaking wet outside. It says rain tomorrow. The one day I don't want it to rain. Oh well. I am prepared. I got sealed plastic protective bags for all of my prints, greeting cards, and postcards, so they're as safe as they can be from the moisture. And of course these buttons, they're quite safe, covered in plastic and backed with metal. The only thing that I normally don't have protected, since I started doing these markets, this is my second one, I've been giving away coloring pages for free, just as thank yous for people who came to see me and visited my table. So what I'm going to do for those, since they're normally just there, and I got some paperweights to hold them down in the wind, but otherwise they're exposed. Oh, there's a little bit of dust on here. I'm just going to put them in one of the protective bags that I have for my prints. I'm not going to put each individual coloring page in a protective bag. I'm just going to have one big bag and put them all in there. And then whoever would like one will just slip one out. That way it should be as protected as possible from any precipitation. And I guess it's a good thing that I don't have access to power at this market. At the last market I did, I was able to plug in, and that meant I could have my laptop and printer at my booth, so that as items sold, I could just print more. That way I don't have to print more than I need and then end up having items that just don't sell, because I've had that in the past when I did Artist Alley at conventions. But I can't do that this time, and it's probably for the best, because it would be dangerous to be using those electrical equipment in the rain. I do have a pop-up tent, so there will be some overhead cover, but if it's windy or something, the rain will still come splashing in. I'm also really excited for the market because our host is a coffee shop, and they have decided to have a special vegan menu for the day. So that means I am going to get to enjoy some of their yummy drinks and treats while I'm there too. And it's so great that they would do that. I mean, this is a vegan market, so it makes sense. But they didn't have to do that. I really appreciate that. So I also want to get stuff from them to show that I appreciate it. Definitely gonna get some sort of hot drink. Because it's an outdoor, even though it's... So weather-wise, it's basically winter here, and astronomical winter is only, what, days away, because it's the 13th, and I think it's around the 21st or 22nd. So it is going to be a chilly outdoor market. But we're going to be right next to the coffee shop, so there's going to be plenty of warm drinks and a warm place to go in, get warmed up. Plus, my husband has been getting me awesome heated, battery-powered heated clothing. So I have a heated scarf and a heated vest that will help keep me warm as well. So I'm not too worried about it. It's looking so cute with this. You can't really see the peanut butter very well. Here's a better look at the peanut butter is in there. Ah, look, it's so cute. This is gonna look really cute on my table. It does take a while though. I don't think I'm gonna have time to work on business cards. Last time I thought, oh well, it'll be okay, I'll just work on the business cards at the market while I'm waiting for people to come by the booth. But that was the first vegan market that we know of in the area, Boise, Idaho. Well, technically it was in Garden City, but that's inside of Boise. So Garden City is a municipality inside of Boise. And it was crazy popular. So of course the food vendors were number one. They were sold out in like half an hour. It was crazy. But even I had well beyond my expectations. So many people stopping at my booth, checking out my work, making purchases. So since this is the winter vegan market and all the winter holidays are here, I don't expect it to be any less busy unless the weather frightens people away. That is a real possibility. But it is next to that coffee shop, so maybe it'll be okay. I'm going to find out. I'm excited either way. Oh, Big Man 2K! Hello! Thank you for joining me from your work calls. Oh, yay! We're working together. What's this called? Co-working? Hope you're having a great day. Thank you so much for joining me today. Yay! Hope you've been doing well. Since you're on work calls, I won't ask you too many questions, but if you ever want to pop in the chat with something, I'll be looking for you. I'm always looking over anyway, but thank you so much for popping in and waving. I'm waving to you too. Peanut butter. It's so cute. These are just so cute. I know. I made it myself, but if I'm not moved by my work, then it's probably not good enough. That's an actual bit of advice I got about writing. I think it was at this SCBWI, Society of Children's Book Writers and Illustrators summer conference this year. I think that's where I heard it. It was the idea. It was from a published author. They said that if you have an emotional response to your own writing, then you're on the right track. So that's why, even though it's not very humble of me, I am super pleased with my work. I have pride in my work. I think that it looks nice. I know that I work hard on it. It's like I was saying earlier, you can't control what anyone else does. So even if nobody else likes it, as long as I like it, then it's good enough. I do hope other people like it though, because I would like to sell some of these little cuties and have them go to people's homes. I'm a little bitty. I am so excited about these buttons. It's looking so cute with all of these different ones in here. Alright, we're on to the broccoli. Chibi broccoli. I don't know what food I'm going to do next. Still plenty of time. Plenty of other chibis to do before I do another chibi food. I've already got tofu, but maybe I'll do soy milk. As I love soy milk, I have soy milk every day. In multiple different things. Like today, I had it in my cereal. Very often, I have it in my smoothies. I try to make a super nutrient-packed smoothie for weekday breakfast, but I've been so busy this week preparing for this market that I haven't had time to even do that. I dunk my cookies in the soy milk. Cook with it. That might be a good one. Oh, the pop of green in here looks nice. Hold on, let me hold this up. Let me see if I can hold this up with the lid there. Look at that. Pop of green looks nice with all these brown things. All the brown foods. It's really nice having a big group of items. So 9 different designs, and they all go together. It makes me want to finally finish my Chibi astrology series. So I have Aries. Basically, I made one for each of my siblings, and then I stopped. I made Aries for my youngest sister. I made Capricorn for my first sister. I'm the oldest, so it goes me, and then my first sister's Capricorn. Then my brother is Gemini, so I made Gemini for him. And Aries for my youngest sister. Also, Aries is me. We are both Aries. She's cusp. She's the very first day of Aries. My intent was to make all 12, but I didn't actually end up doing it because it's harder to do when the goal is just to finish the set. I started the series as gifts. So having someone that I'm making it for gave me a lot more motivation. But if I think of it as let's finish the button set so that people could see all of the signs together on buttons the way that all of these food buttons are together, that would be a better motivation. These food buttons were giving me the idea too for those astrology buttons once I've sold the last of my current run of them that are already made, that I could add to those buttons the way I did here. It says broccoli. Could add to Capricorn. It says Capricorn in case people don't get it on first glance, because I didn't make it that obvious. I did a really deep dive into both mythology and the astrology of it, and they don't always quite match up. So for the 3 I've done so far, they're an interesting mix of both. So for Aries, for example, Aries is the golden fleece, famous for the golden fleece. So it's so sad because the Aries was killed. Wish that wouldn't happen, but anyway, that's why my little Aries is golden, but also has red horns because red is the color of Aries in astrology. So maybe it would help. And for Capricorn, because it was a chibi, the front is a goat, but the back is like a little goldfish. So it's not quite what people think of, I think, when they think Capricorn. So if I write Capricorn on there, well, not write it, but design it nicely, then maybe that would help. I wonder if I should just keep... I've got a little less than half an hour, but we've only finished 3 total foods out of 9, so maybe I'll just keep streaming today. Because I'm going to have to finish these either way. I may as well not stop just to end the stream. I'll just keep streaming until I finish these. So I got to do it either way. The market is tomorrow. I have no time tomorrow to work on this. It's get up, do the morning chores, and start getting ready for the market. And by getting ready, I don't mean make buttons. I mean start packing everything up into the car. I keep forgetting that I got more than one out. That's not even what I wanted anyway. I won't say this is a monotonous task, but it is a kind of thing where you start riding that wave of just going through the motions, and then you kind of error, and you're like, wait, why is this wrong? I don't understand why this is wrong. That's the second time so far today that I've wanted a Mylar cover and I reach in to get another front piece instead. Okay. You keep these in this little bag to try to keep the fuzzies off, but they still get on there. If I can squish this a little bit closer so that it's more visible on the stream. Just seeing the button press isn't all that interesting. It'll be so great if I sell enough to get magnet backs. Hooray! I also really need ink. I had to replace ink 3 out of 6 of my art printer cartridges preparing for this market. So, and those are not cheap because they're the nice archival ink, and I get the big ones too that have more ink in them. So I need some ink money. Oh, I did it again. I reached in, got a cover instead of this cover, the Mylar cover, not the metal cover. This has that little squeak that it does. I start to think that it might need a little WD-40, but it's still swinging around fine, so I'll leave it for now. This button press machine was quite expensive, but it was definitely worth the investment because I've never needed any maintenance or repair or had any trouble with it. Oh, we're onto the baby bok choy. Oh, this is the one that I wanted to make one for myself for now. I'm going to do it. I have a single magnet back left. This one is going to be for me. Little baby bok choy for me. And eventually, if I can get more magnet backs, I will make one each of the foods for me and put them on my fridge. I'm going to put them all in my fridge. I wonder if I like it so much because I actually love the food itself so much. These are all my favorite foods, but I really love baby bok choy. It's so tasty. There's that magnet pack. You can see that it magnets. It wants to go down on the side, but hee hee. Ah, hooray! One for me. The rest are pins. Because now I am out. I actually technically have more of the metal part, but I'm out of the actual magnets that you stick on. So you just stick on with some adhesive. You peel the paper off. Oh, I need to put the baby bok choy in there first. Oh. There we go. So nice. They look really, these are both green, but they look so different. It's really nice. I like that. So we have a wide variety of colors. I'm still checking regularly to make sure that I don't have two of the fronts nested close together and that I haven't accidentally grabbed two of the designs, the printed paper designs. I think you can actually bring these machines into the place where I bought it, but I believe it's in Seattle, Washington, so maybe I'll bring it in for some maintenance next time I do a road trip up there. I haven't done one in a long time, though. It's probably because of the pandemic. Well, first the pandemic, then I was saving a lot of money because we went on that cruise last year around Japan, so I saved as much money as I possibly could, so don't do any trips then either. And next year, I want to save up for another cruise. Hooray! So I've got to be really diligent about my finances. Because it was worth it. It was worth it to save up for Japan. And just feel free to buy what I wanted, order what I wanted, do whatever experiences I wanted, without worrying about it, without having to think about, oh, my budget. But it's hard. It's hard to save up because there's so many temptations. So many temptations to spend your money now on something that's more immediate. This year has been a really good training session for my financial habits because I set the goal of paying off my credit card debt. And I have all but done that because I just needed to, you know, it's weird how you pay it off, but then they still charge you a little bit of interest for the time that it was there, you know? And so there's like that little bit that I'm waiting to see if there's going to be anything for that. But technically, the last payment I sent in was balance amount or whatever. And I learned so much. I built such good habits. And I did really good things for my financial health too, like unsubscribing from almost all email lists that ask me for money, either through donations or through purchases. That helps a ton. I am still tempted because I'll be on Facebook and there's an ad for something yummy, but I'm like, no, and then I scroll past it. One of the things that really helped me save money was unsubscribing from CD Japan. I'm sorry to say, oh, CD Japan, I love you so much, but you were costing me way too much money. I have so much stuff from CD Japan. I decided that I will just do my CD Japan style shopping in Japan the next time I go there on vacation. This is way cheaper in Japan anyway, especially if you go to one of the secondhand stores. We found this great store while we were there. I'd never heard of it before, and it was the best. It's called Book Off. And they're all over. It's a chain. And there's all this secondhand stuff. I got a bunch of things that are so hard to find online. And they were just like there, like someone sold them back in because they didn't want it anymore. And so it was just available but used. It's like, oh, I can't believe I got this. For such a great price too. So being able to change my thinking helped a lot too. With reaching this 2024 financial goal. So next year I want to continue the discipline. I do not want to slip back into bad habits. I don't want to be like, oh, well, the debt's paid off so I can just buy whatever I want. No, 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 no. So it's great to have another cruise coming up in 2026 to save up for, to have a financial goal that supports the habits that I built. So it's interesting because I built these habits to achieve this year's goal, and now next year's goal is actually supporting those habits, like a reversal of roles. Last baby bok choy. I've been working so long now, I'm starting to get a little sweaty. It's getting warm in here. Yep, there's only 15 minutes left of the stream normally. And I am, at best halfway done? Let's see, I wanted to just take a break for a second. So there's chia seeds left, brown rice, pear, so that's 3. Pineapple 4. So there's 4 more designs. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, what? I thought there were 9 designs. 1, 2. No, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there's 5. The chickpeas are hidden, and they look the same as the peanut butters. So we're over halfway done. So that's good. Wait, I do actually want you. Little chia seeds. I love chia seeds too. I came up with a quick lunch option for days like today, actually, though I didn't have it. But days where I'm too busy to make something, but I want some nutrients, not just calories. And what I do is sort of a quick version of my smoothies. So my smoothies have greens in them, and fruit, and soy milk. It has hemp seeds, and a bunch of other stuff too. But what I have for this quick lunch is a shake instead of a smoothie, and I have this greens powder. So it's just powdered high nutrient greens. Then I mix that with 100% mixed juice. So like 2 or 3 fruit juice. That's 100% juice, no added sugar or whatever. Some soy milk, some water, and chia seeds. These little wonders, because they're full of energy and iron and omega-3s and a million different nutrients. They also make it kind of like a natural boba tea. Because when the chia seeds get wet, they kind of plump up. So it's quite fun. The only thing that kind of sucks about it is that they get stuck in your teeth. So when you're done, you might want to go in the bathroom and bring a toothpick and go look in the mirror, check if there's any seeds still stuck in there. But it's so fast to make. It's full of nutrients, and I can drink it while I'm working. I don't have to be doing something else, like eating something solid. Like I can't be doing this while eating a piece of toast or something, but I can occasionally sip. I've been calling it a juice shake. I can occasionally sip a juice shake and keep that nutrition and calories flowing while I work. So that's where I use the chia seeds. I also like to mix them in with my yogurt. If I have some yogurt and put little chia seeds on top. And it's so yummy. One of my favorite snacks. I haven't had it in a while, but now that I'm thinking of it, I want it. It's soy yogurt, any flavor, with chia seeds mixed in, and then dip a sliced apple in it. It's so good. The apple is just, and it doesn't really matter. You could do blueberry or peach or vanilla yogurt. It doesn't matter. The apple goes good with all of them. Got the 10-minute warning. There's no way I'm getting this done in 10 minutes. And I don't want to make any mistakes. The two detrimental mistakes, well, I guess three. Well, I suppose there's a few more mistakes, but they're less likely. First, you could put the back and front, the metal parts in the wrong direction. But I have done this for so long that that's way less likely than the other mistakes, like not noticing that there are two of these or something, like not checking. Not noticing that you have more than one of these. And even not noticing that you have more than one of these, but that's a lot more likely for me to notice since I always wipe them off with my fingers so I'd be able to tell. So I don't want to rush because I don't want to make any of those mistakes. So if you do, that's just kind of, that's it for that button. It's not really salvageable. I love it when there's not really any fuzzies on it. Let me show you how the button bin is looking. Ooh, so much variety, so many colors. I think it's gonna look great. It's gonna look so great at the market tomorrow. I had no idea when I created these chibi foods that I would do this with them. It's so nice when stuff like that comes together. So it's thanks to Twitch. It's all thanks, it's literally thanks to Twitch that these cute chibi food buttons have come to life. It's the only reason I made them was to be Twitch subscriber badges. And it was, I think someone on Twitch actually gave me the idea. I don't know if it was, I think it might have been Wolf suggested that I make the badges into food, or I feel like Wolf gave me the idea. However it happened. So just even more closely tied to Twitch. I had washed my hands yesterday after doing so much printing. I didn't print these yesterday. I printed these last week. There's a little pet hair even on this one. But yesterday I printed all the greeting cards and prints that I'm going to be offering for sale at the market tomorrow, and touching the art papers. And I think also the freshly printed art paper, so the ink was still rather fresh on it. My hands felt so weird after, like, they were covered in a film or something. I'm just being reminded of that because I do feel, you can feel, it feels slightly different. I mean, I don't know, maybe that's just my imagination, but it was definitely not my imagination yesterday that you can feel the ink. Just these little teeny tiny particles. Like if you were just handling one print, you'd never even notice probably. But handling, what did I print? I printed 26 greeting cards on top of the little tiny amount of stock I already had. And then I printed, I think, 18. Oh, did I already print those other ones for some? Well, let's say 18 to 23-ish. I can't remember. prints. I do my prints at 8.5 by 11 inches. So that was quite a lot of printed paper to handle. And the brown rice, I love this one a lot too. I am so proud of how the rice came out. I was so stumped at first about how was I going to color the rice without outlining individual pieces of rice and without taking forever by coloring and shading and highlighting each individual piece of rice. I think the solution I came up with worked well. My back is starting to feel it though. I'm going to take, so even though I plan to continue streaming until I'm done, so past my normal streaming window, I am going to take my customary break at the hour mark. So that's in about 4 minutes. So I really do need to give my back a break. It's starting to complain. My feet also probably need a little break as well, since I've been standing this whole time. I can move these down. I'm going to keep the interesting things in the scene so you can actually see it. Put that baby bok choy there. Let's see. Is this moving off to the side? Or is it the camera that has moved? There. Flying back up. I was thinking of eventually, if I can find the time, to take a nice photo of the complete set of buttons and or magnets, to sell the complete set on my Square shop. But it is a lot of work to list an item, or at least do it in a way that I am satisfied with, because I like to have a nice picture and an accurate and detailed description and all this stuff. You gotta like weigh it so that you know how much the postage is gonna be, etc. So that's definitely not a priority. I think it would be at least a day's project to do that. That's why I don't sell any individual buttons. On my Etsy shop back in the day, I would list this as a single item. And it was just way too much work. Especially since Etsy takes quite a big cut, considering they don't guarantee you any sales. I much prefer Square, eBay, etc. They don't charge you until you actually make a sale. I don't think it's very fair of Etsy to take money ahead of time without doing something like, I mean, maybe it's changed by now. I'm just speaking from previous experience. I closed my Etsy shop years ago, so maybe it's changed. But back when I closed it, they had a fee for each listing, and they had a time limit for each listing. So not only did you have to pay ahead of time, but if your item didn't sell, which they did not help you whatsoever with having it sell other than it would show up in search results if someone happened to search for the right keywords, they limited how long it would last so that you'd have to pay the fee again to relist it. eBay, on the other hand, which I use not for Studio Mikarts sales, but just when I am, basically when I'm selling some of my personal collectibles, because they're no longer of interest to me, and so I figure that I can make some money by selling them on eBay. And they do not take anything until you actually sell your item, and you can keep relisting it and having it auto relist forever. And that's way better. And Square is the same way. You just have your online Square shop front or whatever, and again they take like a fee plus a percentage, which I am totally fine with because they're giving me the platform to sell my items. But they don't take it until they actually sell. So that's why I don't do Etsy anymore. And definitely why a big part of the reason why I would not sell individual ones, considering all the work is not just the money, but all of the time and effort to get it listed, and then if it doesn't sell, you have to pay again. Ugh, awful. And they were making it less and less useful for really small shops like me. It makes sense because they're clearly profit driven, so they are focusing on the sellers that make them a ton of money, which are the sellers that are moving a ton of product. And that was not me. I'm too niche. Too niche. So all of that talk came from, I'm thinking about selling this as a group. On my Square shop, another little dusty got on here. I think it's better for the buyer as well to buy a bigger group of items at once because of the way shipping works. Because there's sort of a minimum that it's going to cost no matter what it weighs. Like even if it only weighs 1/10 of an ounce, you have to pay for an ounce shipping. So I think it's better to have, it's like you get the most out of your shipping cost to buy the whole set of buttons instead of a single button. Ooh. I reached in and I couldn't feel any, but there's still plenty more. But it's getting low enough now that it's not filling the entire bottom of the bag that these metal fronts are in. So that was a surprise. I was like, wait, where are they? Oh, they're farther down. Felt the bottom of the bag for the first time. Yep, if I order more magnets, I will order more of the other stuff while I'm at it. Again, talking about shipping, it'd probably be better that way anyway. Alright, I pressed I'm going to leave it in here actually because it'll look cute while I'm away on break. So I pressed the first pear button. And what is it? It's pear and pineapple. So it's actually not going to be that much longer, but my back really is killing me. So even though there's not too much left to do, let's take a little 5-minute break. I'm going to put my be right back sign. I encourage everyone else to also take a break, get up, stretch, get a drink of water, look at something in the distance, give your eyes a break. I'll be back in about 5 minutes. Hello everyone, welcome back. I hope you had a great and refreshing break. I am ready to tackle these last buttons. Just have the rest of the pears and the pineapples to do. We call this live stream good and I'll be basically ready for the winter vegan market tomorrow. I don't think I have any local viewers right now, except my husband. He's definitely coming. He's helping me. But if you're in the area, I hope that you will come and see me tomorrow at the market. There's even more vendors this time too. It's quite exciting that it's already grown this much since the last time. Last one was in October. And this time there are... So last time there were ceramicists, and this time there is also a, as far as arts people, not just culinary arts, the visual arts, there are some, well, the picture, so I don't know too much about them yet, but the picture has those amigurumi knitted crocheted stuffed animals, plushies. The description said they have something else too. I can't remember what it was. But I think that's going to be great for holiday shopping. Some nice soft plushies. They looked very cuddly. And then there were, I think, some more different food vendors too. I can't remember. But there's at least 3 different sweets vendors, a vegan meats vendor, a microgreens vendor, bread, a sourdough bread vendor. There's a sort of spiritual wellness type of booth. As far as physical items, they have crystals, which those are always cool. And then they do wellness retreats and stuff like that. So I think I'm still the only 2D illustration, that kind of visual arts person. I hope that I can keep doing these markets, because you have to apply, and I'm like, I hope that there doesn't come a time when I'm not chosen. But I've just got to make sure to always have new stuff, I think, because if I get stale, then I think it's less likely for me to get chosen. But if I always have new stuff every time, then that way repeat customers will also have something to look forward to. Maybe they'll be like, oh, wonder what Studio Mikarts has this time. I hope that happens. That would be wonderful. But I'm always making new stuff. There's no chance of me being like, I'm not going to make anything new. I'm making stuff whether I'm going to sell it or not. I love this pear. I think pear is one of the ones that looks way better compared to the original background that I had for it. It sits so much nicer on this light, warm brown background. After I'm done with this stream, I'm going to take a picture of this bin full of lovely buttons, post it online to hopefully drum up excitement for tomorrow. I think it's so fun because people can choose which one's their favorite, or maybe they get the whole set, or they could get them as presents, and say like they have a bunch of kids, and so they get one for each kid, and they're like, you're the broccoli, and you're, something like that. I think it would be really fun. Oh, I already had a back out. I call it a back. It's the front, but it's the bottom piece of the front. The front back. It's the back of the image. I don't know what they're Yeah, I put fronts. I wrote on these bags and I just put backs and fronts. But it's hard to call it the front when actually it's the middle of the button. Sandwiched in between the image and the back. The mylar, the image, and the back. My feet are starting to feel this too. Not much longer. After the pears, it's just the pineapples, and then I'm done. Hooray! Worked so hard yesterday getting all those prints and stuff ready. And I worked hard the day before too, getting my Chibi commission stuff ready. At the last market, like I said, I had access to power, and I didn't just use that to print on demand, as it were, as things sold. I also used it to have a monitor going at all times, displaying my information about my Chibi caricature commissions. Unfortunately, that didn't work too well because even though I had the tent casting, providing some shade, it was still very hard to see the monitor. The monitor was turned up to max and everything. It didn't matter. It was extremely hard to read, and I think that's probably a big reason why I didn't get any commission sales. So this time, a couple days ago, I created physical signs and printed plenty of examples of my Chibi caricatures that will be displayed in a little book so people can leaf through and see what I can do, get an idea of what maybe they would want to commission me for. It's actually, I ended up printing out all the same Chibis that are here in the little Chibi carousel on the stream. I originally did prefer the idea of being able to digitally display the caricature information though, because my caricatures are delivered digitally only. So I was a little hesitant of having the printed versions because I didn't want anyone to get confused and think they were getting a print of it once it was done. But if you can't see it, then there's no point doing the digital display. I think it would work fine if I was indoors. But a big reason why I'm able to apply to these vegan markets is because they are outdoors in spaces where we just have a business kindly hosting us, and that means that there's no application fee because there's no overhead cost to account for. Indoor events would almost inevitably entail such a cost, so I don't think I'd be able to do it anyway. We are on to the last set of buttons. Pineapple is last. Pineapple is my favorite citrus fruit or tropical fruit. It does have a lot of citric acid. I don't know if it actually counts as a citrus fruit though. Anyway, favorite tropical fruit. So yummy. And then pear, of course. What would you call this? Temperate? Temperate fruit, maybe? As opposed to tropical. I don't know if that's actually what you'd call it, though. Lots of little fuzzies on these. Always try to get them off. The heel of my hand is getting, I mean, look. It's red. It's red. It's getting sore from pressing almost 108 buttons. It'll be 108 when I'm done. I was talking to my husband the other day about what if we won the lottery, would I keep live streaming? And he made the good point that I wouldn't have to quit live streaming, or I could keep live streaming because it would be even better because I could use the big lotto winnings to get an epic stream set up and like some staff to help me on all this stuff. And I was like, oh yeah. At first I was thinking, oh, I wouldn't stream anymore because then I could just focus on my writing without doing anything trying to earn money in the meantime. But I actually quite enjoy streaming in and of itself, especially streaming art, but even I've streamed very, very occasionally games. Right, one year, I think it was the first year of the pandemic when all the lockdowns happened. So for my birthday, I did a Suikoden live stream, and that was super fun. I've actually been considering, because Suikoden is coming out, Suikoden is my favorite game, it's coming out remastered on the Switch, which is my favorite platform now, my favorite console. And I was thinking of starting to live stream on the weekends. Just a little bonus stream, not scheduled or anything, nothing special. I wouldn't have this layout or anything. This is like super pseudo Mikarts art related. I would just have the game on there and stream. So, yeah. My husband's words made me realize, yeah, actually, if I won the lottery, I'd go deeper into streaming. I'd get really into it. We'd have like multiple camera angles and super professional lighting, and we'd have guests on and all this stuff, someone directing and telling me which camera to look into and all this kind of stuff. It would be so fun. For now, I'm perfectly happy with this, though. My little homegrown, just a little improvement here, a little improvement there as the years have gone by, because I think I've been streaming since 2018. So that's quite some time. And all of my streams, going back to the very first one, are up on YouTube, except for, as I mentioned, those gaming streams. I did not record those. I just let them disappear into the ether after the 2 weeks or whatever on Twitch. Twitch keeps the video on demand for a couple weeks and then it disappears. So that's what I would do with my gaming streaming if I started doing that on the weekends. Just let it be ephemeral. I was even thinking of maybe trying it out, because my husband got me this awesome new laptop. So I haven't streamed from my laptop. I use my laptop to stream games so that I can play on console. I do not like to game on my phone, and I don't like to game on my computer either. I like to be on console so that I can sit real comfortably in the couch. And I've not tried streaming with this laptop yet, and since it's new, I bet it would be even better than my old laptop was. I was thinking of doing some test streams. I'm just streaming some Animal Crossing. That's my main game this year. It's been my main game for like 3 years, and I think I'm finally gonna say I'm moving on to another game because I have like 2,000 hours logged on it, and I still cannot get all the things that I wanted to do for what I've been calling my personal end game for Animal Crossing. And with Suikoden coming, I really want to finish Eiyuden Chronicle, which I haven't even started. I started the prequel game. Eiyuden Chronicle was made by the original, or at least some of the original Suikoden team. So I'd like to play that until Suikoden comes out. Or at least start that, finish that, and then by the time I finish that, Suikoden will have come out. So I like to finish things. I don't like to jump from thing to thing. It leaves me dissatisfied thinking of all of the half-played games I have. 'Cause that's how I used to do it. Okay, here we go. This is the last one. So it only took me a little less than half an hour extra streaming. Well, I can't show you. I'll show you one by one. So to do a little finale. So here's the pineapple. Here's the pear. And I can't really do it. I don't remember what order it was. Here's chia seeds. Brown rice. Baby bok choy. Broccoli. The other ones are buried. Here's the peanut butter. Chickpea. Tofu. Is that all of them, or am I missing one? Let's see. Chia seeds, pineapple, pear, bok choy, broccoli, brown rice. Did I hold up the brown rice? Here's the brown rice. And then chickpea, tofu, and peanut butter. That's 9, so that's all of them. Hooray! Okay, last look at the button bin. Woo, look at them all. They're going to look so good at my booth tomorrow. Yay! Well, thank you for hanging out with me today and helping me get this done. It really does help seeing that little counter up there, and it says 4 viewers. Oh, thank you so much. It really does help. It's especially this kind of tedious task is made so much easier just having someone with you to get it done. So, oh, you know what? To leave off, I will have these buttons on the screen so it's more interesting looking. Yeah, that's better. Although it's up against the microphone, so hopefully it's not. Oh wait, I'll do it this way. Aha, there. Nice end scene. What we did, 2.5 hours. Okay, that is it for me today. I will be back next week, and there should be no reason for me to cancel streams. I had to cancel streams this week because of preparing for this market, but I've got nothing next week, so it should be normal streams, 2 illustration streams, and Chibi Friday coming back on Wednesday at the normal time. I really hope to see you then. But that's it for today. I hope you have a great weekend. Thank you for watching.